You are concentrating only in the 1 markers, 2 markers and 4 markers. So it is very, very important for all of us. Why? Because that will give us the mileage in terms of understanding it. There is something which has to be followed, the norms, the rules and the regulations that we are talking about. So that's why we are going to use this word called as normative options that are available to you so that you are able to produce the maximum. So that is what we call it as the production possibility set altogether. Good morning and welcome to the first revision class in 2nd PUC Economics, Chapter 1, Introduction to Microeconomics. Now, all of us know that this chapter is a very important chapter, not just because it's a beginning, but then this chapter has got some of the most important factors to be talked about. Now, we are going to look into the summary, that is the key takeaway from this chapter, some of the keywords that we have to learn, and then we will go into the different types of questions. Starting with what is consumption, production, exchange, scarcity, productions, all these factors including opportunity cost, market economy and centrally planned economy. Now let us try to first understand this. What is consumption? All of us know that for a consumer to consume is the basic function. That means the consumer will have his basic needs like food, shelter and clothing, what he consumes, what he takes it as a consumption factor. So the basic ideology of a consumer is that he will have his needs and wants to be satisfied. Followed by production. Production is a concept through which you produce an meaningful output by the combination of various inputs. Followed by exchange. Exchange can be in terms of barter. Exchange can be in terms of monetary value also. Scarcity, all of us know that all the economic resources that are available in the world are scarce. You don't have any of the resources that is unlimited. So always scarcity is the base for economics. Whether you talk about food, shelter, clothing, or you talk about the rare metals, or you talk about any other factors, these are all in scarce quantity. So scarcity is the basic problem that we are going to talk about in economics. Followed by production possibility. Now, what is a production possibility? That means how much will be the outcome, that is your output, by the combination of various inputs like land, labor and capital. So we are going to talk about the production possibility also, which is very, very important for you to focus. Followed by opportunity cost, very, very important topic. Why? Because when I say about opportunity cost, most of the people think that it is something related to the options. But let me just tell you, opportunity cost is the next best available option by foregoing the first one. Now, to give you an example, if you get a salary in an organization, the first organization where you attend for an interview, the company promises that they will give you 10,000 as salary. So what you do is that you attend some more companies' interview and then you come to know that there are companies which are ready to offer you 20,000 or 30,000 for the same kind of work. So automatically what happens is that you forego the first option and you select the second, the next best option, which will give you a strategic advantage, which will give you a better benefit altogether. So that's why we talk about the word opportunity cost. Followed by market economy. Now, when I talk about market economy, this is a kind of economy which is run by the capitalists. So whenever we are talking about the market economy, this consists of all the people who are engaged in terms of running the market through the production capability. So market economy is a very, very important concept to be focused upon. Followed by centrally planned economy. Now, this concept is also very, very important. Why? Because in a centrally planned economy, we are going to talk about the economy which is run by the government. So any prices of the individual units, or when we are going to talk about any other variables or factors, they are governed by the central government itself. So the government plans for the people and they fix the prices. Moving on, we will also talk about mixed economy. Now, when I say about mixed economy, it's a combination of both public and private, something like Indian economy that we're going to talk about. Positive analysis, where we start analyzing the root cost basis. Normative analysis, which is more in terms of the norms and rules, how it needs to be, what it needs to be. That's the normative analysis. Followed by microeconomics, which is the study of individual needs and wants. Macroeconomics, which is the study of the entire country as a whole. So these are all the major concepts that you need to learn in this particular chapter. This would be of a great help to you in terms of understanding the subject. Followed by, let's go into the 1 markers question, starting with, why does the problem of choice occur? Now, all of us know that the problem of choice will occur because of the scarcity. Now, that's where the problem of choice will occur, because there's scarcity. You don't have all the factors in unlimited things, so scarcity leads to the problem of choice. What is market economy? The economy which is run through the production-based activities or through the capitalistic-based economy. That's what we call it as the market economy. What do you mean by centrally planned economy? The economy in which the activities are run by the government, we call it as the centrally planned economy. Now, give the meaning of microeconomics, study of individual needs and wants. That's what we call it as microeconomics. What do you mean by positive economics? And economics where we are going to study the root cause analysis. That's what we call it as the positive economics. Normative economics. Moment, look at the word normative. Normative means to say that there is something which needs to be there. There is something which has to be followed. The norms, the rules and the regulations that we are talking about. So that's why we are going to use this word called as normative. So as it needs to be, as it should be, that's where is the normative economics coming into picture. Followed by the 2-mark questions, which are very, very important in this chapter. What are the kind of 2-mark questions that you can expect? Again, the central problems of the economy, very, very simple, and the basic question that you can expect from this particular chapter. How to produce, what to produce, and for whom to produce. That is the basic problem that we have to define here. So all of us know in economics, we have this challenge. What needs to be produced, for whom it needs to be produced, and how it needs to be produced. So, you always have this basic problem that keeps running at the back of the mind for all the economists and for the people who are planning with the economic activities. Followed by distinguish between micro and macro. Now, here I want to tell this point. Whenever you are writing a 2-mark question, that means you have to give minimum 2 points. So, 2 points in micro, 2 points in macro. So, when you are distinguishing something, please put a tabular column like this and write micro and macro separately so that you will be able to score the marks. So 2 points here and 2 points here. That's where you will be able to score the marks completely. So when I say microeconomics, so you know that it's a study of individual. In macro, it is the study of the country as a whole. Now in microeconomics, you can give examples like when I'm going to talk about consumption, consumer behavior. In macro, you can give about employment or you can give about GDP. So I need 2 points in each of the factors so that you will be able to score your full marks. Followed by positive and normative. Already we have discussed this answer in the 1 markers. Now when you write it, please elaborate the answer and write. Why? Because in a 2 markers, it is expected that you will write the answer with an example. So that is very, very important for all of us so that you will be able to understand, you will be able to take it forward in terms of scoring your marks. Followed by what do you mean by production possibility set? Very, very important for all of us. Why? Because when I say the word possibility set, it is a combination of land, labor and capital. So whenever you are making into the factor of land, labor and capital and you are going to analyze it all together, you need to see that by the combination of these factors, how is the output? The output cannot be altered at all. The output needs to remain same, but what is more important is that what is the combination options that are available to you so that you are able to produce the maximum. So that is what we call it as the production possibility set altogether. Now let us go by asking this question, what do you mean by opportunity cost? Most of you know what is opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is nothing but the cost that is foregone, the next best option that we have talked about. So that is what we mean by the opportunity cost here. Followed by the 4 markers question. Please understand, in the first unit of microeconomics, you might probably not get any kind of 6 marks question. You will only get 4 mark questions altogether. So it is very, very important for all of us to see that you are concentrating only in the 1 markers, 2 markers and 4 markers. So it is very, very important for all of us. Why? Because that will give us the mileage in terms of understanding it. So when we are talking about production possibility frontier, you need to draw the graph and you need to tell as in how is the production possibility frontier in terms of your land, labor and capital, but still the output getting to the maximum level as far as possible. The central problems of economy: how to produce, what to produce and for whom to produce. So when I say the word how to produce, now the 4 markers means that we need 12 sentences. That's what is being prescribed by the board. So when you are writing a 4 mark question, you need to keep in your mind that you have to write minimum of 12 sentences so that you are able to score your complete marks there. So when you are trying to answer a question like this, central problems of economy on how to produce, whom to produce and for what needs to be done. So you have to give with the example. When I use the word how, that means the technological factors, the methodologies, for whom, for the people, and then what needs to be produced, what is the best thing that would be available for the people. Followed by centrally planned economy. This you need to elaborate and write. Again, when I say centrally planned economy, that means all the economic activities which are governed by the government itself. So this is a kind of economy that you will be seeing that which is run by the government itself. So what happens here is that the government takes in charge. The government is in complete flow of the options here. So you will not be able to dictate any terms. The consumer will not be able to get whatever he wants. It is because the central government dictates the terms and methodologies here. So that's what we call it as centrally planned economy. Just to give you an example here, when you start looking at country like North Korea, this is completely a dictatorship or a government controlled country where you will see that all the options for the people are completely controlled by the central government itself. With this, I would like to come to the end of today's session. So I would just like to give you a small recap saying that in this unit, the first unit, we have only the 1 markers, 2 markers and 4 markers from the revision front. So please do go through the concepts once again and then try answering the questions that have been asked. That will help you to score better and you will be able to come out with flying colors. Let me meet you again in the next session with chapter 2 in microeconomics, where we are going to speak about consumer behavior and theory. But until then, stay tuned, stay blessed and stay enlightened forever. Thank you once again for joining me today on this wonderful session.